Welcome to the October edition of BALLE's Local First webinar series focused on buy local campaigns. My name is Stacey Price. I'm formerly the Executive Director of Think Local First DC, now doing a little consulting with BALLE on programming. Today, I will be your webinar facilitator. We have about 51 local economy leaders from across the U.S. registered for today's webinar, and we're delighted that you've joined us. Before we get started, Andrew Connor, who's supporting the webinar with technology, will go through a little housekeeping. Andrew?
All right, thank you very much, Stacey. Just a few notes to help everyone out with their experience a little bit. If you are dialed in by phone, but you have not joined us in the webinar room, please find a link in your reminder email that will bring up the slides that the presenters are sharing today. So do that. If you, we're going to have the phone lines muted today because we have so many people on the call, and so don't think that you can participate verbally. The avenue for putting in your questions will be through the group chat, which Stacey will explain in a little bit here. A couple notes to just sort of improve your experience. If you look on your screen, it's probably in the bottom right. There's slightly different versions depending on whether you downloaded the Fuse application or you're accessing it through the browser. If you find a little icon that is two silhouettes of human torsos kind of back to back, and you click on that, you should have an option to hide participants. That will make some of the little tiles that have people's initials on them disappear, and it'll expand the size of the slides that you're viewing. So look for that hide participants option to maybe remove a little bit of the visual noise in your webinar room. If you have questions for the presenters at any point, you want to type them into the chat window, which again, slightly different on different platforms, Mac or PC, and slightly different depending on whether you downloaded the application or are accessing online. But what you want to look for, if it's not already displayed on your screen, is a sort of rectangular word bubble icon. It might be in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. It might be in a toolbar near the top. But if you want to look for that and click on it, if it's not already displayed for you, that should bring up your public chat where you can see the questions that have been asked, and you can ask your own questions if you are so inclined. I've posted in the chat window, and I will repost it for those of you who can't see. If you're having any technical issues, Jocelyn in our office can help you, and I'll put her email and her phone number in there. And you can get in touch with her if you're having any sort of issues and need help. And I think that that's it. If there's any other technical or other issues that pop up, please be sure to put them in the chat window or contact Jocelyn. So thank you very much for joining us, and back to you, Stacey.
Thanks, Andrew. Since many of you are new to BALLE, I'd like to tell you a little more about our organization. BALLE is the fastest growing business alliance of value-aligned entrepreneurs, business networks, and local economy funders in North America. We are leveraging the collective voice of this movement to drive new investment, spread the best solutions, and harness the power of local independently owned businesses to transform the communities where we live and work. BALLE believes that certain principles matter to attain sustainable, resilient, happy communities and thriving economies. We believe that ownership matters, place matters, opportunity matters, nature matters, and that we must measure what matters, and that relationships matter most. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at @BeALocalist. Before we get started, I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce our topic and our speakers. As I mentioned, one of our main principles at BALLE focuses on the importance of relationships. In many communities, the connection between consumers and independent business is what drives local economy. Today, you will hear about two successful Buy Local initiatives. Erin from Oakland will present the Oakland Grown program, and Erica from Local First Arizona will walk us through a state initiative to increase local commerce. At the end, there will be 10 or so minutes for moderated Q&A. As Andrew said, as you have questions as you go along, if you will type them into the group chat window, we'll field those questions and they'll be answered at the end. Erin Kilmer-Neel is the Director of Sustainable Business Alliance based in Oakland. Erin recently worked as a program officer of One Pacific Coast Foundation, helping to build programs and provide strategic direction to one of the country's most innovative and socially responsible financial institutions. She founded Oakland Grown, Oakland Unwrapped, and Oakland Indie Awards to make it more compelling and easier for people to support independent businesses. Erica, our second speaker today, is the Communications Director for Local First Arizona, a statewide nonprofit organization working to strengthen communities and local economies through growing, supporting, and celebrating locally owned businesses throughout the state of Arizona. Erica is a second-generation Arizonan, an Arizona State University alum, and enjoys hiking in Arizona's great outdoors. Thanks, guys, for sharing your time and experience with us today. Erin, would you like to get us started on presentations?
I would love to. Hi, guys. As Stacey said, I'm Erin Kilmer-Neel. I am Executive Director of Sustainable Business Alliance, which is based in Oakland. We have been around for almost 15 years, but we a few years ago. I was part of Oakland Grown, a founder of an organization called Oakland Grown, which merged into Sustainable Business Alliance. And so today I will mostly be talking about the Oakland Grown programming, because that's our sort of local first programming. And I don't see controls for myself on the screen, so oh, now I do. Awesome. I had to move my cursor. So I thought what I would do is just quickly talk about and show, more than talk actually, the year-round campaign elements that we do for Oakland Grown. And that really is your fairly traditional buy local, support locally owned, independent, sustainable, and socially responsible business programming. And so I'll go over what we do year round, and then I will also go over what we do during the holidays, and some special programs that or special partnerships we have to make those things happen, and a few highlights along the way. So a lot of it is just, I know whenever I participate in conversations like this, I kind of just want to see what other people are up to, and then start tweaking it for myself. And so what I thought I would do is just kind of give a ton of different images and ideas of what we're up to. And then if people have asked questions about execution, then I'll cover those. So we have your traditional window decals that we've been using for several years at Oakland Grown. That's a major part of the campaign. T-shirts have been a big piece of what we've done. And our naming of Oakland Grown, there are a lot of other organizations across the country that are using similar names. We weren't the first, Asheville Grown and others. And we really wanted something that people would want to wear just because it was kind of cool to have Oakland on your shirt, even if you weren't necessarily totally bought into the concept of shopping local yet. So we really just wanted enough brand awareness so people liked wearing the name and carrying the name around, and then building out the shop local message from there. So shirts was a big thing that we've done a lot of, and we did Raider color shirts for people who love Oakland Raiders, so everybody loves to buy those. And then, of course, we have posters, so window posters, both different kinds throughout the year that are both educational and just inspiring. And then we do a ton of social media marketing. We have over 10,000 combined Facebook and Twitter followers, and so that's been a huge piece of our campaign. We actually have someone over time, on and off, we've had someone paid to do that work. Right now we have a paid person. It's one of our few paid staff members actually, who gets paid to do both marketing and member care. And collectively with those two tasks, he works 20 hours a week. So he probably spends about 10 hours a week on social media and all kinds of marketing newsletters and stuff like that. This is just an example of our online directory. I've actually talked to a lot of people across the country about the directory that we use for our organization. It's actually a local company here in Oakland who created this directory, and it is both a platform but also a membership management platform, which is really nice for us because they can or something or not. All of that is automated. All of the directory data is automated by or updated by. Also includes the ability for our members to log into their account and not only update their directory, but also to market themselves through our platforms. So when they log into their membership account, they can connect to our Facebook, our Twitter, our website, as well as their own Facebook, Twitter, and website, and LinkedIn, and a few other channels. And so when they want, they can, if they have something that they want to announce, an event or a campaign or a discount, they can actually log into their membership, to our membership system, input that information once, and then it goes to all of those channels. So that means that I get to approve. It just shows up on my phone, and I can say approve, and that message will go out to our 10,000-ish followers. So hopefully the slides will stop jumping around a whole bunch, but I'll keep up with them. So another thing that we've done is co-op ads, and this is basically a partnership with East Bay Express, which is our alternative newspaper in the Bay Area, in the East Bay. And we did a deal with them where if someone's a member of Oakland Grown, which is our organization, or Buy Local Berkeley, which is another local chapter, they could be eligible to participate in this ad campaign. And it's been going on for several years. They get this nice color photo and an image of themselves, and the messaging that they carry in their image is something around supporting local, green, or socially responsible business. And then we started an e-newsletter. So we had a regular e-newsletter that's has our events and educational information, but we wanted to do something that was a little bit sexier and that made shopping locally and sustainably sexy. So we created a new newsletter called 510 Style Conscious, and it's socially conscious independent shopping in the East Bay, and we highlight really great products from our members each month. Let's see. Sorry, I'm clicking. Another thing we have is very simple, just your usual recyclable, reusable bags, and those have been huge. We actually had a partnership with a stop waste organization who subsidized the cost of the bags, and those I think we got 100,000 bags, and those have like taken over Oakland. So that's been one of our biggest ways that people have gotten to know our brand, is from our bags, and that was like 5 years ago, and there are still people carrying them around, and still people recognize our brand because of those bags, and we didn't have to pay for them. Another thing we do is bus ads. So this is an example ad. Our website used to be shopoakland.com, so that's why it says that there. This is an older ad, but we put ads on the sides of buses. And then we also promote and attend all over at community events, as I'm sure all of you guys do. We do that every month at different events. And then about 2.5 years ago, we launched the gift card, the Oakland Grown card. It's a program that we built. We developed this software with a local company, and basically this one card can be used at multiple locally owned independent businesses, and it's a gift card. And not only is it a gift card, but it's also a rewards card. So basically you can put money on it and give it to someone. Let's say you give them a $50 card. They can use it at any of those participating businesses. And as they shop at those businesses and spend the money on the card, they're earning rewards, which we call Oak Shares. And then that's all automated so that, you know, when you go to the store, you get a receipt. It shows how much you spent in cash. It shows you how many Oak shares you've earned and what your balance of Oak shares is. And then you can use those Oak shares to get other things at the locally owned independent businesses. And we've also done other partnerships with other organizations where you can pay it forward and use those Oak shares to support nonprofits and support youth in some of our lower income neighborhoods and do some really interesting things with those rewards. And I will say now too that we actually, even though the technology of this card worked really well, it did exactly what we wanted to do in terms of moving that money from account to account and automatically assigning and redeeming the Oak shares. We actually had a lot of trouble with the point of sale system integrating with local businesses because there's so many different point of sale systems. And we were trying to provide something that was outside of the Visa network. So that became a very difficult thing for us to do, to be able to integrate with all the different point of sale systems over time, partially because of the providers of those point of sale systems don't like to open their systems because they want to own the loyalty market. So I'm saying all of this because I know a lot of you out there and a lot of people I've talked to are interested in doing a gift card that can be used with multiple local businesses. And we are still looking at some other technologies, and I'm talking to some other folks in the BALLE and Amoeba networks. We're doing research together on that. So I'm just putting that out there for anyone on this call who has been curious and has been interested in doing this, that I'm happy to keep you in the loop on the research that we're doing for the next phase. And I'm going to click through the slides again to get us back to where we were. So then one thing that we did around the card program was not only to sell the cards in various channels, but we also did what we called card crawls. And so they were sort of shopping events or scavenger hunt kind of events where we invited people to come out for the day and take their Oakland Grown card that they had money on or to fill up their card and go around and visit the different businesses that are participating in the program in one particular neighborhood. So we've done 2 of those so far in 2 different neighborhoods to walk people around, and it's just a fun day of shopping and eating and drinking. We always have specials and food and drink at the different locations, and then we have an after party at the end. And so that has brought a lot of it, literally brings people into the doors of the businesses participating in the card program, and they really appreciated that, and it was a lot of fun. So that's a lot of our year-round campaigns. And I don't know, Andrew, if you know why the slides like to go back to slide 1 all the time, if there's anything I'm doing or anything you can help with. But so moving into the holidays. One of the things that we're really lucky is that we have partnerships with both the City of Oakland and East Bay Express, the newspaper that I mentioned earlier. And through that campaign, we're able to do a lot, basically $70,000 worth of marketing for the holidays. So the City of Oakland owns or buys up a lot of media for their own marketing for the year, and they give us a piece of that. So then rather than us needing to pay for bus shelters or billboards or some of that media, they actually are able to offer us carve out a little piece of that because they know that this work is important to the economic development of Oakland. So this is an example that is on the screen now is of a bus shelter. So the bus shelters all around town will have the Love Oakland marketing branding on it. I'm actually going to forward. So another example, So another example of what the city pays for is these billboards. So they'll help us with bus shelters, billboards, and then also actual advertisements in the newspaper. And it's really just because, like I said, they've already purchased that advertising and can just give us a piece of it. So it doesn't really, it's not a huge new outlay of cash for them to help us support this campaign. We also host shopping events. So we've done Holiday by Night. We call it the Malternative event, where we bring together indie businesses and offer, basically we try and offer everything that you would get at a mall, all the things that you would expect, gift wrapping, food, drink, if you want a Santa, music, everything that a mall would have, but it's all independent businesses. So we've done that for a few years. And then some of the other advertising that the city has helped us with is movie theater preview ads. So they purchased space before movies at the local movie theater and gave us a space to do a small video supporting shopping local there. We've also done online gift guides each year that allow our businesses, our paying members, to put up to 3 gifts in our online gift guide, which is through a WordPress template. And then we each week will highlight gifts in that guide via our newsletter and social media and partner newsletters like the mayor and city council members and other organizations will share the content of that gift guide each week, basically for between November and the holidays. We've also done and will continue to do a challenge or a pledge. So we always have people sign up and say what they'll pledge to shop local. And that's a really easy thing to do with an online form. We've had a local gift concierge where people can email or call in and say, hey, where do I get this Harry Potter thing from a local independent business instead of from a chain store? And so we'll have our little elves, which is us, staff and volunteers, call around and try and find that at a local business. I showed you the billboards. These are just examples of newspaper ads that we've done through those partnerships with the East Bay Express and the City of Oakland. And then we do, every year, we do a press conference and do press releases where the mayor will talk about supporting local, shopping local, and then she'll walk around and buy something at one of our local businesses, and the press eats that up. So that's totally free advertising for us, and they, for some reason, love that messaging every year. So it's been a pretty easy way for us to get our word out. And then we've done Plaid Friday for many years, which many of you are familiar with, and have partnered with other organizations locally who have other campaigns. So we're always trying to be super collaborative and really just be a clearinghouse for whatever all of our other organizations are doing in terms of shopping local. And we'll say, we come to our site, we're happy to promote what you guys are doing. Last year for Plaid Friday, we did a huge thing where we had a big Santa village, kind of the same thing I was saying before, where we tried to create sort of a mall atmosphere outside, which you can do in Oakland during the holidays, and we had card crawls, we had live music and bands, we had a bike and shop thing where we had a whole bike trail for people to take and go shopping. And then we had a whole map of everybody that was participating, and we had in our downtown more businesses than the local mall that people usually go to shop for the holidays. So we had over 50 independent businesses that were open for Plaid Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So this is just a quick stat. I don't have a ton of stats, and that's one thing that I want to get more of. But what we've found with one of our online advertising partnerships is that the click-through rate on our ads is huge. So they basically say 0.58 click-through rate is an average click-through rate, and ours ranged from 4 to 5. So it's a very, very motivated, very interested messaging for people, which was great to hear. And so in terms of results, like I said, we don't have a lot of stats, and we haven't done, we don't know the extent to which this has honestly resulted in shopping. And so we know that we get a lot of members as a result of all of our messaging, and we know that we have a lot of name recognition. Everybody recognizes our name, but what we haven't done and what we need to do is really say, how does this impact spending? And so one of the things that, or the things that we're doing next is to continue this mass marketing in all these different channels, but to really focus on some high touch things. So for example, we're going to do, well, we're going to double down and do more decals because those are really popular. But what we felt would be more deep and measurable is really focusing on the pledges and doing one pledge per month. So encouraging people to, in 1 month, shift their cell phone to a more socially responsible provider, shift their bank, shift their grocery store, so that each month we have a different, very focused, but big shift that people can make in their spending, and that they pledge to do it, and we follow up with them. So really augmenting our mass media with for large shifts in their spending behavior. And so this is just an example. We have an online survey of where people can play. Then, let's see, we basically are doing more of the pledges, encouraging pledging at the local festivals and fairs that we attend. Just not moving. And then the other high touch thing that we want to do is community presentations and house parties. So we started to do presentations, take our message to other places like the Rotary, to people's houses, and have house parties instead of expecting people to come to us and our events. So I will wrap with that.
Erin, thanks so much. Erica, do you want to walk us through what's going on in Arizona?
Yes, I do. Hello, everyone, and thank you, Erin, for everything you said. It sounds like you have some great stuff going on in Oakland. I want to talk to you all today about some of the campaigns that Local First Arizona has going on here in Arizona, specifically 5 different campaigns. I'll go into detail. And just to give you a brief overview, Local First Arizona, we're about 10 years old. We were founded by our director, Kimber Lanning, about 10 years ago, and we are now the largest local business coalition in North America. With 2,600 local business members. So some of the things that we do to connect people with our business membership and other local businesses in the area, one thing is our Small Wonders maps. We call them Small Wonders because they highlight local restaurants and retailers, entertainment and lodging options in different areas. Right now, well, we've produced 7 different maps for the Phoenix metro area. We have one for Central Phoenix, one for the Arcadia neighborhood in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, Mesa, Glendale, and Gilbert. We also have a map for Tucson and one map for the Verde Valley, which is up in northern Arizona, and it highlights several small towns in the area. So the mission here is really to connect people to place. We highlight businesses that may not be traditionally recommended by, for example, a hotel concierge. So the map does a great job of showing many great points of interest in one small location. You can kind of see there in the image, the map on the inside of the Phoenix map. It highlights the central corridor in downtown Phoenix. Just to go into detail, we have about 25 to 60 businesses participate in each map. It really depends on the location and the interest from businesses in the area. The display ads you see with the images there, it costs $350 for businesses to participate, which is really affordable for many businesses because the distribution for these is usually 50,000 with a 1-year shelf life. We really send them all over the place, all over the state, really. We put them out at events that we table at, a lot of culinary and arts festivals, street fairs, farmers markets, and conventions. We market both to residents and visitors with this map. For residents, we hand these maps off to real estate agents and apartment complexes. And for visitors, we send them to resorts and hotels. We have them at the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport and also visitors bureaus around the state. And also all businesses listed in each map are a distribution point for maps. So they're really cross-promoting each other, and it helps also build community among the local business community. The one thing I'll emphasize about this project is that we really look for high quality. The paper stock is thick quality paper, and we require high quality images from the advertisers. We've gone back and forth several times with few members trying to get a higher quality image, because we really want to present this as a high quality piece of work that people will really hold on to for a long time and use throughout the year. Let's see, just some other notes I'll make. We won the 2013 Arizona Office of Tourism Award for our Verde Valley map. We partnered with Verde Valley businesses and sold staycation packages, and also created a video, and this whole package together won the award from the Arizona Governor's Office. So these kind of projects can really help drive tourism locally. Most of the visitors were from the Phoenix area to the Verde Valley, and helps keep money in the local community and supporting local businesses. So let's see. Next project I'll talk about is our Localist membership. We launched this last year, so it's just coming up on a year old, and it's individual membership. We've always had the business membership, offering benefits to businesses such as the online directory, mixers and seminars and things like that, but we really wanted to connect more with the consumer base. So we decided to offer an individual membership program, and they're called Localists. They can join for just $20 per year, and Localists get a series of benefits, including access to all sorts of exclusive behind-the-scenes events that we plan. And we really focus on the behind-the-scenes stuff, because people really want to be the insider in their community and know what's going on. So yeah, individuals can join for $20 a year, but we also offer a 3-year $50 membership, and the price is just a little bit higher if the members do want a shirt. At this point, we have over 830 card-carrying Localists, which is really great. We really hope to break 1,000 by the end of the year. And the mission here, again, is to build community among local-minded individuals, and to connect consumers to local businesses in a fun way. And we really emphasize fun. We have all sorts of events, such as we did a brewery school with one of our local breweries in Tucson. One of our local restaurants, Joyride Taco House, opened up early just for our Localists, and they all got complimentary dinner. We did a Central Phoenix shopping crawl. We also host fun weekend getaways all around the state. This year we've done one to, if you're familiar with Arizona, to Ajo and Bisbee, both in southern Arizona, really fun destinations. And we have a full-time Localist coordinator position who works on organizing these types of events. The only other thing I'll mention about this is that we promote the Localist membership as a great gift, as it's only $20, and the holiday season is coming up, so we'll be promoting that. And we also work with larger companies to encourage them to gift this membership to their employees. For example, this year we have a local advertising company called Lane Terralever, and they purchased memberships for all 100 of their employees, because they really wanted, they had just merged and moved locations to Central Phoenix, and they really wanted to get their employees connected to the local community, which is great. So the next thing is we have 2 food festivals. Annual food festivals called Devoured Food and Wine Classic, and also Savor Southern Arizona in Tucson. And so these are our 2 culinary festivals to really showcase local restaurants and local foods. We find that food is really a great way to introduce consumers to the buy local message. They can really connect easily with how important it is to source local food and go to the local restaurants. And so, again, these are 2 annual events. They have really unique venues. The Devoured Culinary Classic is at our Phoenix Art Museum, and Savor Southern Arizona is at the Tucson Botanical Gardens. And so Devoured is now considered to be one of the premier food events in Arizona, showcasing more than 70 local restaurants. Attendees pay an entrance and have unlimited samples of both food and beverages. There is food and, wine and beer available. General admission is $90. We offer a small discount and special pre-sale for members of the Phoenix Art Museum and Localist members. And now, last year, we also introduced a VIP package available for $150, and it includes early entry and a special VIP area. The event has sold out for the past 2 years in a row, which is great. We want to keep it at the Phoenix Art Museum because it's such a unique venue and provides a great atmosphere for the festival. So we don't want to expand capacity. So we've had to just raise the price a little bit and get creative about, like with the VIP membership package, and offer other exclusive opportunities for that event. And although the event doesn't give out any recognitions or awards itself, the restaurants really compete with one another to be the best of the best, as local media tends to pick some of their favorites. So it's just really a great showcase of all the local restaurants that Arizona has to offer. And last year we introduced Savor Southern Arizona. It was the first event that we did down there, and we thought it was a great success. Tickets were $65 per person since it was the first event, and they again also got unlimited sampling. And with both of these events, we partner with a third-party organization to help us plan and execute these festivals. It's called the Southern Arizona Arts and Cultural Alliance. We are a small staff. There's about 10 full-time people, so it's really hard for us to actually put on these events alone. So we partner with them. They help with everything from logistics to media and things like that. So if you're planning on embarking on an event like this, I would really suggest partnering with an events organization to do so. And coming up actually in just a couple of weeks, this is what I've been working on a lot for the past few weeks, is the Certified Local Fall Festival. It's our annual festival and celebration of all things local. This year will be our 10th annual, and so we're expecting about 10,000 people, and so we're really pushing the anniversary message. The festival features a few things. It's free entry. We really want people just to be there and experience it, so we don't charge an admission fee. We have 100 local vendors participating this year, over 100, and we'll have restaurants. Restaurants have been really great. They can choose to donate food samples, or we sell food tickets for $1 each. And so then they can get food samples with those tickets, and restaurants can opt to donate their food ticket proceeds to us, as it is our big annual fundraiser, or they can take 50 cents on the dollar for those food tickets, is how we arrange it with the restaurants, and also food trucks. The Arizona Beverage Garden will feature wine, beer, and spirits, all produced locally here in Arizona. Then the beverages will go for 2 tickets each, so it's $2 per sample. We'll have live music from local bands, a raffle and silent auction with items donated from our local business members. There will be tons of kids activities sponsored by local businesses, a kids craft area, superhero corner from a local comics bookstore, kids yoga from a local yoga studio, a bounce house, and face painting, and all sorts of other great things. We really encourage the businesses and we require them to have some sort of activity if they're not selling wares, just to make the festival a really fun experience for everyone, and also to make it worth their while being there. If they're just sitting there with paper on their table, no one's going to come and visit them, and they're not going to have a fun experience. And what's great about this festival is it really gives us an opportunity to talk face-to-face about the importance of supporting local businesses. We have a booth there just for Local First Arizona, where they're selling memberships for businesses and individuals, selling t-shirts, and just really getting the message out. It's also a great press opportunity, as the press loves to talk about these kinds of events, especially when you come up on anniversaries. And the last campaign I'll talk about is Buy Local Month. And this will echo a lot of what Erin talked about, what they're doing in Oakland. But we have a whole month-long campaign of encouraging people to shop local for the holidays. So it includes a variety of components. First, I'll talk about online. We list our members who are listing Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and other holiday promotions. We also promote alternative and non-traditional gift ideas, such as the Localist membership or oil changes from a local car mechanic. They make a great gift. We try to promote our local service providers as much as possible, and ideas like volunteering or donating to a nonprofit. We have quite a few nonprofit members, so we work with them to promote their organizations for things like Giving Tuesday and throughout the entire month-long campaign. We also partner with local media organizations to really get the message out. Our arrangement is that our local media members can come to us and they give us their promotions that they're offering on holiday advertising, and we blast that out to our members and encourage them to advertise locally for the holidays. And in exchange, our media members help us out and promote our message with advertising or editorial content. So that's an idea to help get the message out. We also, as Erin said, this is a great earned media opportunity. The media loves talking about buying local for the holidays because they always talk about the big Black Friday deals and events going on. So they really want like this happy messaging to go along with the holidays. We host several events for the Buy Local month. The past couple of years, we've done a shopping trip from Phoenix to Tucson to get Phoenicians out of their Phoenix bubble and into a new environment. Tucson has a lot of great local shopping, but so does Phoenix. But it just really is a fun little trip to get people out of town and shopping and supporting local businesses. And so we take a bus down to Tucson. We suggest shops to visit, and we take them out to lunch. All they really pay for is just the transportation. In our last shopping trip, I think we had a $4,000 economic impact, and there were just 30 people shopping. So that's a really great statistic to put out there. Another fun event we do is called Festivus with a PH. Yes, it is related to the Seinfeld episode, if you have seen that. It's kind of like a traditional farmer's market, but with more handmade crafts and vendors. And it's huge. I would say there's probably 100 to 150 vendors. And they're all selling handmade wares and other items that make great, unique gifts. There are quite a few events that are kind of like Festivus around the town, like Crafteria is another one. But if you are interested in hosting an event like this, they can be really popular as an alternative to going to the mall if you want to set one up for Black Friday, or there's one that Festivus runs 2 Wednesdays in December. But they tend to be really popular if you bring a lot of local vendors. People really enjoy seeing the local alternative there. In Festivus, there are things like airing of grievances and the Festivus poll related to the Seinfeld episode, so it's pretty fun. But that wraps it up for me.
Thank you so much, Erica. Both Erica and Erin have so much information that they've shared with us that I've taken 3 pages of notes myself to pass along to our new Think Local First ED here in DC. So I'm sure that, and I also have a ton of questions, so I'm sure that you guys have questions. As you think of them, please put them in the group chat window and we can start receiving them now. While we're waiting, do you guys mind if I ask some questions?
Go for it.
So, awesome. So, I'm curious. So, Erin, you talked about, or Erica, you talked about how you partner with event companies to put on some of your events. I think that most people that run Buy Local programs probably are short on staff. And so I thought maybe you might want to talk a little bit about what that partnership looks like, because you're probably using that event to increase revenue for your organization. So can you talk a little bit about what that partnership looks like from a monetary standpoint?
Sure, yeah. And so for our food festivals, we partner. We have actually 3 partners for both of those events. We have the event venue. It's either the Phoenix Art Museum or the Tucson Botanical Gardens. And then we have SACA, the Southern Arts and Cultural Alliance. And so we have 3 event partners, and we draw up a contract to talk about all the different things that each organization is going to provide to the event beforehand, to make sure that everyone is offering everything they can, and then we decide how the revenue sharing is going to work. It can be equal if you want to split it equally, if everyone is offering an equal amount of work, or you can split it however you see the workload distribution going among each organization. I don't draw up those contracts, so I can't speak to them specifically, but I think it's pretty even distribution between all three organizations. So I guess for that, I would just make sure that you have a good working relationship with whatever organization that you choose to partner with, and that you draw up the contract beforehand and make sure it's agreed upon by all parties to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible and that the responsibilities are fulfilled by each party.
Erin, do you guys have partnerships like that? I know you spoke of asking the city to help support you with advertising, which I would love to hear more about. But do you have other partnerships that you're splitting revenue, or you're doing some of the sharing of workload with?
Yeah, we've kind of done them both ways. So we've done several events that have just been our own events. And then we've definitely done some partner events. A lot of our partner events are vending events. So it's like 2 or 3 of us organizations that have a constituency of small businesses and or artisans that are going together to share the logistics, share the outreach, and then share the revenue of the the vendor booth, table fees, and alcohol sales, which is always one of our biggest ways of making money. So yeah, we've definitely done that with just other nonprofit organizations that are doing similar work to us. And then the ones that I mentioned before with the City of Oakland and the East Bay Express, our newspaper does a lot of events on their own. They really are skilled in event production, and they also have a lot of relationships with businesses that have the kinds of things that you might need for an event. So like they'll have a relationship with someone that offers lighting or decor or whatever it is that we might need for an event, and can, through those relationships get better deals on those things.
So I'm checking out our chat window. I can't believe I'm the only one with questions.
There's one from Moselle.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for seeing what I can't. So Moselle from Local Whistler, British Columbia, said that she would like to hear, she's interested in hearing suggestions or strategies for targeting visitors and tourists. So Erica, do you want to get us started on that question?
Yeah, sure. I talked a little bit about our Small Wonders maps, and those have really been a hit with both locals and tourists. And they're just kind of like a little fold-out directory that highlight our local businesses, anywhere from 25 to 60. And we hand those out. We partner with visitors bureaus, and we make sure that they have those in stock. And they love handing those out to people. They're also available digitally. And another thing I would say, if you have an online directory or an app, if you don't have the ability to create a nice printed piece like that, maybe you just have flyers that direct people to using your app to find the local businesses in your area. As we like to say, go where the locals go is a great form of messaging to target the visitors, because it really is the local businesses that provide a unique experience to the visitors of any area. So I would suggest reaching out to the visitors bureaus in your area and seeing how you can partner.
Erin, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think that's something that we've aspired to do, is to partner with our visitors bureau and to actually target, just putting materials in those locations like the hotels and other locations that we know are the places that visitors come. We did actually talk to the Visitors Bureau about potentially doing a version of our Oakland Grown card that was for visitors, so that when they came into town for a conference, a conference organizer could give like a $50 card or a $10 card that could be used at the local businesses and encourage them to find them. And we may still do that in the future.
Oh, I love that idea. So it looks like Lucinda from Rethink Local in Hudson Valley is working on a robust online directory for members, and she's wondering if you guys have any recommendations or thoughts on that. I think both of you have online directories, so I'm not sure who wants to take that question first.
I can go first. Yeah, we do have an online directory. We're actually in the middle of a website and directory revamp, though. Our directory is a little cumbersome to search right now just because we do have so many members, and our keyword function is okay, but not the best. So you could really only search by category. So our new directory will have geolocation search with latitude and longitude, which will be great so people can actually search what's near them. So if you are developing one or have one, I would suggest moving in that direction because it just makes your directory that much easier to use for people.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. I think we have all of our data online. We have the ability for our businesses to be able to update their own profiles and to add their own photos, but making it mobile friendly would be my next priority. The other thing, and I touched on it a tiny bit before, but the other things that I would say that are really important to us is to streamline it and to make it so that we don't have to really do anything, that the businesses are maintaining their own accounts, that they are maintaining their own information, they're getting automatically billed, and they're automatically paying, because that just saves us so many hours and dollars in terms of administration that we're really, really happy with that. And I would say that, the company that we're using is called Local On, and they designed and modified their platform to help us and the other business districts in our area who also had the same needs. So we basically are on the same platform as many of our neighborhood districts. And so a business that's a member of a neighborhood district and our citywide organization has one account, and it can show up in both places. And they designed that based on basically our feedback and our previous usage with wild apricot. So that's what we used to use, and then this was like an improvement upon that.
So it looks like we have a question about measuring impact, which is always something that I felt like our organization had challenges with. I don't know if you guys would agree with that, but how do you quantify the amount of dollars that are being spent locally? I know, Erin, you talked about you wish you had more statistics on some of that, but Erica, can you maybe address that for us?
Sure, yeah, and I'll echo that it is really difficult to get those statistics. Otherwise, you just kind of have to ask every single person in your constituency how they're spending their money. But one thing that we do, a campaign that I didn't mention that we do during the 4th of July holiday is Independence Week, and that's just our annual summer shopping holiday. And we have a golden coupon promotion that's 20% off that our business members can opt in to accept at their place of business. And so during that week, we run a contest where people can take the pledge to shop local during the week, but in the same time they're filling that out, they can also enter how much money they spent that week and at what businesses. So we've learned that utilizing contests to get data collection is useful. It's not always completely accurate, but you can qualify that by saying survey responders said that they spent such and such much money during this campaign. And so it just gives you a number that you can say, although it might not be completely accurate, it just gives you some data.
Erin, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, when our card is being used, it's the most amazing data collection tool possible, because it tells us exactly who is spending how much, where, and so that has been, even though it's not been like a 100% of our community uses it and 100% of our businesses accept it, that was definitely where we were getting the most real statistics around spending. we, as I mentioned, we have done the holiday pledges as well. And then, and as I was kind of like quickly saying at the end, as I was rushing to the end of my presentation, that we believe that there's still value in just sort of having that mass messaging out there. And we have to recognize that some of that we won't be able to measure, but that we want to augment that with very specific one-on-one pledges and commitments that we can follow up with people and say, hey, did you actually do this? Have you changed, where you grocery shop? Have you changed your bank? And that's why we're focusing on some big sort of one-time shifts or habit shifts where that one decision or that one change in habit makes a significant difference in the money that's being moved in our economy, as opposed to like one day going to one store and then going back to the chain the next time.
Erin, I love the idea of the editorial calendar of asking people to shift. I'm wondering if you're also correlating that with sponsorship in any sort of way, like banks sponsor Oakland grown during the month of January because that's when we're going to ask people to shift their banking.
You'd think I would have thought of that, huh?
well, there you go. That's what I would do. I'm like, oh man, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. We'll probably end up doing that now.
I remember, I think it's the Philly network does such a great job. I've always been envious of their network because they really do plan things out, and they have this editorial calendar where all of their programming, as well as their shop local stuff, as well as their workshops, all kind of follow this calendar, and then they go out and ask for sponsorship accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great.
So we have a question from a new organization that's about to get started that is curious about some lessons learned or some ideas for the most successful ways to get started if you were working on a low budget and lower membership.
I'll start. Yeah, I would say the best thing to do is to create a media sponsorship package. If you're looking to get the word out, just think about what you can offer those partners, and always be talking about what you can offer them, so that they don't think or understand that you're asking for a lot. And maybe it does take you offering a little bit more in the beginning as you get started, but as time goes on, you can equalize the sponsorship benefits and what you get out of them, is what I would suggest.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I would say for me, it was crazy how important the decals and the bags were. Like, I totally underestimated the power of those two things, and even just the decals themselves, because businesses love them. They love having that that sort of feel of certification and being part of something. And to me, I was like, oh yeah, everybody does decals, but we need to be doing this and that and this and that. But I'm just realizing now, like when I look back at our membership application where members say how and why did they join our organization, a lot of the times it's because they saw a decal on a window, and a lot of volunteers who come to us because they saw a decal on a window. So that's a really inexpensive way to just start getting that branding everywhere. It could be just as effective as a billboard. And you could definitely, I would imagine, find a printer that would want to partner with you to either give a reduced rate or give some kind of sponsorship if they can get their name out there with the decals and posters like that are, free real estate and free advertising once you print those on every business possible.
That's true. I'd like to add to that we do the decals also, and they're really great. People really identify with those. So yeah, that's a great idea, Erin. I would second that as well.
Thanks, ladies. Thank you guys all for joining the call today. It looks like we're about out of time. Just a couple of announcements. If you guys will save the date for our November webinar on creating a thriving local ecosystem, we're going to explore a couple of different business models. That's November 20th at 1 p.m. You guys, everybody that's on the call will receive the slides from the call and access to be able to purchase the audio in an email following the presentation. You can purchase past recordings of our webinars at www.bealocalist.org. A huge thank you to both of our speakers today. A special happy birthday to Erin from Oakland. And finally, a thanks for all of you for participating. We hope to see you again soon. Enjoy your afternoon.
Thanks, guys. Bye.